Today I want to talk about noun phrase. As I said in the previous lectures, we tackled verb phrase, and I said whenever you master verb phrase and noun phrase, you can master 95% of syntax or English syntax. So today we talk about noun phrase. So as you know, noun phrase is extremely important in English. Why? Because it has a lot of functions. It functions in a lot of situations, in a lot of positions. So what does noun phrase consist of? Noun phrase consists of a noun or a pronoun. Sometimes one noun, sometimes a group of nouns, sometimes one pronoun, sometimes a pronoun with some modifications. So let's define nouns. Nouns are words that name people, places, things, or ideas. So we have two kinds of nouns, proper nouns and common nouns. Proper nouns are the nouns of persons, geographical names, calendar items, institutions, celebrations, all the nouns that we have that usually they are capitalized. So there are two kinds of nouns in English. We have what's known as abstract noun and concrete nouns. In the case of abstract nouns, we have abstract concrete nouns. We have common nouns. Within the common nouns, we have abstract nouns and we have concrete nouns. Within the abstract noun, we have countable abstract nouns and concrete abstract nouns. And within the abstract countable nouns, like opportunity, for example, we say opportunities. But in the case of abstract non-countable nouns, for example, air, we cannot pluralize it, but we can pluralize abstract countable nouns. Okay, concrete nouns. We have countable concrete nouns and non-countable concrete nouns. For example, countable concrete nouns like chair, like computer, they are concrete and they are countable. But there are some uncountable concrete nouns like water, like sugar, so on and so forth. So we talked about the classification of nouns. Let's talk about noun phrase. Of course, let's remember pronouns as well. As you know, we have two kinds of pronouns. We have definite pronouns and indefinite pronouns. Definite pronouns are personal pronouns. Indefinite pronouns are these pronouns that we cannot know the person. Usually we have WH1s, WH indefinite pronouns like who, whom, whose, which sometimes, and the other indefinite pronouns like someone, somebody, something, anybody, anyone, anything, so on and so forth. We talked about it. So all of these function as noun phrase. So what is noun phrase? Noun phrase may be a noun or group of words with a noun or a pronoun as the head or other constituents as modifiers. For example, the second black bag on the table is very nice. Where is the head of this noun phrase? Of course, back. Why? Because whenever we remove back, so the meaning of this phrase will be damaged. So the second black is the pre-modifier, on the table is a post-modifier. So let's come to the functions of noun phrase. Noun phrase mainly has 7 functions. They can function as the subject, like this book is very interesting. They can function as a direct object, Mary kicked the ball. They can function, noun phrase can function can function as an indirect object, like he gives his father a hat, so his father is an indirect object. Number 4, it can function as a subject complement. For example, he's a student because of a copular verb, so a student is a subject complement. It can function as an object complement in the case of a complex transitive verb. For example, we elected you team leader. So the team leader is also a noun, but this noun refers to you rather than refer to we. So that's why team leader, you are the team leader, not we are the team leader, because we elected you the team leader. And we have prepositional complement, or sometimes called prepositional object. So I work in this company. So this company is a prepositional complement to the preposition, which is the head of this prepositional complement. So sometimes called the object of this preposition. Usually in, on, at, these are prepositions if they are followed by noun phrase. If they are not followed by noun phrase, they are not prepositions. They will function as adverbs. So believe it or not, noun phrase can function as adverbial. For example, next week, next month, Tuesday, Wednesday, these are all nouns. But what do they function? They function as a adverbial. Okay, so noun phrase basically consists of the head noun, optional pre-modifiers, and optional post-modifiers, but determiners are not optional. So especially central determiners. In English, we have 3 kinds of determiners. We have predeterminers, central determiners, and post-determiners. What do you mean by determiners? Words of closed system used before a noun to determine the precise meaning of the noun phrase or the noun. So predeterminers can consist of all, both, have, multipliers, fractions, such and what. So these predeterminers, all, both, have, can come before articles, possessive determiners, demonstratives, but they cannot come before quantitative determiners, which are also central determiners. But all, both, have usually come before these articles. The articles, a and the zero article, all the time. So all is a predeterminer, the is a central determiner, time is the head of this noun phrase. Or they come before possessive determiners. Possessive determiners are also central determiners. My, his, her. These are called possessive adjectives as well. So both his sisters. So both is a predeterminer, his is a central determiner. They also come before demonstrative determinants, which are also central determiners. Have, those, days. Have is a predeterminer, those is a central determiner, days is a noun. So but they don't come before quantitative determiners. So each, no, any, some, enough, either, neither, every. So predeterminers can take partitive of phrase. Usually partitive of phrase is optional with nouns, but they are obligatory with pronouns. So we can say all of the time. We can say all the time. The same. But in the case of pronouns, we cannot say all of them. We have to say all of them. We cannot say both us. You have to say both of us. In this case, of is obligatory with pronouns. This is called partitive of phrase. All, both occur after the head, either immediately or after the operator, in some rare cases, which is still function as predeterminer. For example, they all were accepted, or you can say they were all accepted. Still, all is a predeterminer to the pronoun they, but it is misplaced. Sometimes it's called a dangling or misplaced modifier. Okay, predeterminers can come in the form of multipliers. Once, twice, 3 times, double, 4 times, 6 times. So usually used to denote the quality of the nouns. See, example, twice his. So, twice his strength, double their papers. So in this case, double their papers. Twice is a predeterminer, his is a central determiner. Double is a predeterminer, there is a central determiner. They occur with the determiners like a, every, each, and per to indicate frequency. So you say once a week, twice every day, 3 times each year. So once is a predeterminer, which is called multiplier. Twice is a predeterminer, which is called multipliers. 3 times is also a kind of multiplier, which is a predeterminer. Preceded by, followed by a central determiner, a, every, each. So predeterminers can come in the form of fractions, 1/3, 2/5, 3/4, etc. So the fractions have the alternative of construction as well. In this case, we have of construction as well, partitive of. So 1/3 the time, or you can say 1/3 of the time. So 2/5 of the students. See, 1/3, 2/5 can be followed by of, can be, sometimes you can drop off. So they come before the central determiners, the time, the students. So the definite article can replace one in some situations. He did it in 1/3 or a third of the time it took me. In this case, a is not a central determiner. It means 1, which is a kind of fraction as a predeterminer. So predeterminers such as what, especially what as exclamative one. So usually they occur before the head noun. Such combined with all, no, quantifiers, cardinal numbers. So no such incidents, many such incidents, 30 such incidents. So let's come to talk about central determiners. Central determiners can be categorized into 6 types. The first one is the possessive nouns, or the possessive pronouns, my, our, her, etc. Or WH words like who, whom, whose, or some, any, stressed, and no. The second type is called zero articles, some, any, unstressed, and enough. The third one, a, an, every, each, neither, either, neither. And the fourth one, this, that. The fifth one, those, these. And the last one is much. Okay, usually central determiners respect to their occurrence with the noun clause. So usually when the noun is plural or non-count, usually there is a zero article on it. So central determiner, possessives can come before nouns. For example, the possessive my, your, his book, my book, his book, your book. Or genitive, my father's, aunt's, etc. No book, no can also be come with it. Whose book, which book, whichever, whatever, whoever. Some and any, in the case of stressed. Some book, any book. So some ink, any ink. So the second situation in which zero article, some, any, unstressed, and enough. Examples like zero article, books, or some, unstressed, any, unstressed, enough. Enough book, enough ink, any book, some books, or some book, in the case of unstressed ones. Central determiners, a, an, every, each, either, neither. A, an, every, each, either, neither, before the head noun. This and that, demonstrative determiners, these are called also central determiners. This book, that book, this ink, that ink. These, usually preceded by the noun. Those books, these books. Okay, much is followed by an uncountable noun. So coming to post-determiners. Post-determiners are cardinal numbers, ordinal numbers, closed class quantifiers, open class quantifiers. So cardinal numbers, we have two numerical systems around the world, Arabic numerals and Roman numerals. So Arabic numerals, we have in Arabic numerals, which are invented by Al-Khwarizmi, an Islamic scholar from Persia, and English people still nowadays use the Arabic numerals. The Arabic numerals are based on the angles. One angle, two angles, three angles, four angles, so on and so forth. So Arabic numerals are divided or subdivided into cardinal numbers and ordinal numbers. Cardinal numbers and ordinal numbers are also known as post-determiners. Apart from one, which can co-occur with only singular count nouns, all cardinal numbers 2, 3 co-occur only with plural count nouns. So two students, the two students, you can say the two students, the is a central determiner, two is a post-determiner, student is the head, you know that. The two cars, so the is a central determiner, two is a post-determiner, car is the head. Ordinal number, in addition to the ordinals, we have one-for-one relation with the ordinals. Fourth, 4. 20, 20. We consider here items like next, last, another, other, additional, which resemble them grammatically and semantically. Ordinal numerals, except first, co-occur with count nouns. The first three planes, the is a central determiner, first, and three are post-determiners. His last two book. His is a central determiner, last two is a post-determiner. As we said, last, next, other, another co-occur with the numbers, especially ordinal numbers and cardinal numbers. Post-determiners can come as closed system quantifiers. These quantifiers that we cannot add any other thing. For example, many, a few, several, especially when they come before countable nouns. Sometimes those that come before non-count noun like much, little, and a little. The few words, there is a central determiner, few is a post-determiner, much is a post-determiner, stress. We have a zero determiner before much. Open system quantifiers are these quantifiers that can be included or can be added to it. That's why they are called open. They talk about quantity and we can add many other things. For example, plenty of, a plenty of, a lot of, lots of, a great deal of, a large number of, large of. Verbs have number concord with second nouns, not only the quality nouns, lot, deal, lost, plenty. So lots of food, a lot of food are open. So lots of food is a post-determiner with food was on the table. There was a lot of food on the table. So a lot of is a post-determiner, which is an open system quantifiers. So that's the structure of the noun phrase. Determiners as pre-modifiers and adjectives as pre-modifiers, sometimes adjectives as post-modifiers. So a complex noun phrase consists of a pre-modification, head noun, and post-modification. Even within pre-modification, we have three kinds of determiner. For example, all is a predeterminer, there is a central determiner, 11 is a post-determiner. All of them determine the noun pupil. So playing football is a post-determiner, which is preceded by, which is also a reduced relative clause. Originally, all the 11 pupils who are playing football, we reduced it to playing football, which is which is a tenseless clause as well. So pre-modification, head noun, and post-modification. Three men in a boat. So in a boat is a post-modifiers. Usually post-modifiers can be seen as prepositional phrases and clauses, as we talked about in the previous lectures. Three is a predeterminer, which is is a pre-modifier, which is a post-determiner. The Italian, there is a central determiner. Italian is a pre-modifier before the expression. A pen is central determiner before the head. So that's all for today about the structure of noun phrases. Until next time, we see each other. Goodbye.